JB Bickerstaff talked about what the Cavs needed to work on after that Knicks loss.
We can improve our spacing, give guys room to operate, give them room to go to work. But again, this to me wasn't just about that last stretch. This is something we just have to continue to get better at sustaining. We did a job coming out, building a lead, and then, just weren't able to sustain it.
For you, where did you see kind of take that turn?
It's the discipline point of it and just being okay with making the simple play that's in front of you, both ends of the floor. We just have to do a better job of sustaining what's working. I think we've just gotten away from that.
And Sam, it's got to be frustrating because you can, if you watch, you can see exactly what he's talking about. It's like, well, we've done that really well all game. Let's switch it up a little bit. And it's like, no.
Yeah, keep doing what works. But he said it best right there. Make the simple play. Sometimes when you're a young team, you get caught up in wanting to, be on the Instagram highlights or making the headlines. But sometimes the simple pass, the simple shot is the thing that works best when it comes to actually winning games. And, and JB's right. The Cavs do that a lot, but sometimes they get away from it. When they get away from it, it spells trouble just because then it leads to turnovers. It leads to easy baskets for the other team. And, you're best served. And it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do when you're a pretty good team to just, make the simple play most of the time, save the highlights for the blowouts. But, when you're a young team, you're figuring that out. And like he said, too, spacing is a big thing. You got to give guys room to create. You got to move the basketball, make that extra pass. And every time, it's just basketball one-on-one. The more you pass and the more you cut and the more you move, the easier shots you're going to get. And sometimes it's easy to get away from that during the course of an 82-game season. So these are just things that they need to clean up a little bit.
Yeah, here's another thing that's concerning. I won't say it's troubling, but late in games, the Cavs just haven't been as sharp as they want to be. Bench is unreliable. I think that's absolutely fair. 12 points against the Knicks. Since the 8-1 start, Cavs are 2 games over 500. But they're still 9 games, 10 games over 500. So they're in a good place. You got to see them starting to develop. And I realize there's some new guys, and every game that Donovan Mitchell is unable to play, it's one less game that they can figure out how he fits in and where things move in the chess piece on the floor.
Yeah, well, you just said it. They're 29-20 overall. So that 8-1 start did give them a little bit of a cushion. It maybe made them a little bit comfortable. Veteran teams can kind of flick a switch and turn it on and still win games. Younger teams with a young core, you're still talking Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, even Donovan Mitchell. Those guys are younger players. Lamar Stevens, Isaac Okoro, even Chetty. These guys are, they're not playoff seasoned guys other than maybe Mitchell. So, it's just a matter of learning those veteran habits, when to turn it on, when you can turn it on, when you can kind of pull back a little bit. I will say this, Dave. They're 29-20, right? Which is all that matters. Number 2, yeah, they had a bad loss. They've had a couple of bad losses, lost to Spurs on the road in a game they shouldn't have lost to a Warriors team that didn't have any of their players at home. But there's no one dominant team in the NBA this year. Everybody is kind of going through or has gone through what the Cavs are going through. The Celtics lost at home to the Magic. The Bucks got creamed at home to the Hornets. During the course of an 82-game season, weird things can happen. But if you're the Cavs, what you're thinking is, okay, we've experienced some of those lulls of the season. Let's try to put our pedal to the metal right now and get moving into the All-Star break and then get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, and again, agree with you 100%. There's just some things that they got to get corrected quickly.